I'm back. And the words of Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot. It was so much that Vietnam changed me. I realized that I was the one that needed to change. I'm back to where it all started. Going through a divorce. Had to get my mind straight. But I'll leave that for a future video. And if you watch all the way until the end, be a little bit special announcement. I wanted to address all the mistakes that I made. And if I went back to Vietnam, what are all the things that I did to make sure that I was foolproof, future-proof, I would be okay. And no, none of these content creators tell you about these things. But guess what? I'm gonna tell you about it from my first hand. And before I even get into it, a lot of y'all be like switching up. And I'm like, you don't even know the whole story.
I knew you couldn't make it. I knew it. I knew it.
But you still watching. If you've never been to Vietnam, one of the most important things that you need to consider is getting a phone. Your phone is your lifeline. It will help you eat. It will help you travel and get around. And if you're lucky, it'll even get you a date. And that's why this video is brought to you by UBG. You download this app, you choose Vietnam, and depending on your budget, you figure out if you're gonna stay there for a week, a month, and you can reload. You can use 5 up to 10 and even unlimited gigs of data. And if you live and been in Vietnam or anywhere in Southeast Asia, you know how important having data and Wi-Fi is. So I've partnered with them. And if you want to get a discount, use the code HABIT and you get 10% off. You're welcome. So once you get your eSIM, you're travel ready to go. You download apps like Grab, Shopee, Sign, B, and even banking apps like Timo and Vietcombank. But I'll leave that for another video. But right here, you can screenshot this. This is all my apps that I need to use to survive and thrive in Vietnam. Next is, how do you get into the country? We're gonna talk about visa situations. You don't even need an agent. If you want to, you can get my guide in the description below. It will help you, give you step-by-step process. But if you are anywhere in the North Americas, so what you do is you go on the website. I'll link it in the description below. It is a government foreign affairs website, egov.visa.vn. You apply for their visa application form if you're a foreigner. You'll need electronic copies of your passport, typical passport photos, but it's the different size, 4x6. And then you apply for 1 month, 1 entry, single entry, multiple entry, 3 months. You need to make sure your arrival date is the date that your plane lands, not the day before, because you're going to run into immigration issues. What if you're like me, a Vietnamese diaspora? Your parents are Vietnamese. They were born in Vietnam. Well, good news for you, you can get something called the Vietnamese exemption card. The Vietnamese visa, the VietQ visa. It'll look like this. Stamp into your visa and says how much days and months you can be in the country. Depending on your agent or depending who you talk to, you can get one of these. This is the same thing, but in booklet format. What this does is, instead of using the stamps if you're moving around Vietnam a lot, is a booklet, same thing, but you don't use passport pages within your passport. All ready to go to Vietnam now. Just to clarify, if you needed a Vietnamese exemption, you can also do that at the Vietnamese embassy. All you need is your local country's birth certificate. So I'm from Canada. I got my own birth certificate where I have my mom and my dad's name on it. Country of origin, Vietnam. And then you can also apply for your Vietnamese exemption. The fees will vary depending on country. I paid roughly around $100, and that will last you 5 years. Let's talk about money. Oh my God, what do you do? Money, how much you need to bring into the country if you actually move there? Well, you need to bring, the maximum is 5,000 USD or 15 million VND if this is Vietnamese currency. What I did was I brought in crisp, because I'm Canadian, 4,000 Canadian cash, all in $100 bills. Because then what you can do is once you're into the country, you can exchange that at your local jeweler or your money exchange. There are typical tourist places that you go to that are super crowded, but you can literally walk into any jeweler store and you can be like, hey, I want to exchange this Canadian money for Vietnam dong. they'll give you $100 X whatever that amount is. At the time that I did it, it was around $100 was 1.8 million VND. Pick your jeweler store, you exchange your cash, and that is one way of how you get cash into the country. Vietnam, specifically Ho Chi Minh City, that I was based on in Hanoi as well. You can go to places, ATM machines like TP Bank, no fees. You put in your debit card from your country. They might apply fees. You take out whatever million. There is a cap, 5 million, probably 2 million. And now you have some VND. So you don't need to sweat about, oh my God, how do I pay for things? So this is specifically, if you were to live in Ho Chi Minh City, what would you do? Well, you simply just go on Facebook and you search the word chung cư, CHUGNG, and then CU, chung cư, which means condo, and then you search the word Guan, QUAN, and then the district you want to live in. That way, you'll find all these groups of real estate agents posting, I have this place here, 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 here. You go click on those places. An agent leaves their phone and name and phone number, and then you go and find it and you sign it. But this is where most people get bamboozled because they're too trusting, especially strangers on Facebook. What you want to do is vet them, making sure they're legit, making sure they actually show you the places and the pictures match the places. And one of the things I guarantee, no one ever talks about when it comes to living accommodation in Vietnam is, especially if you're a foreigner or a local, doesn't matter. You have to register to the local police ward. This is at the responsibility of the agent. The agent needs to register you to the Cao An Phuong, the police ward. And then your name, your passport, they know who you are that you're living within this district. And if you move, you have to re-register to that police ward. Wherever you go, even if it's a hotel, an Airbnb, you need to be registered to the police ward and having a tam chú, a proof of residency. And if you watch my other videos, pollution is a thing, air quality. If you have asthma, if you have a puffer, bring it. You'll need it. Get yourself an air purifier. When you're going around and looking at places, look if there's ventilation. Look if you can open the windows. You can crack a window. Look if the AC is good quality, number one. And two, if it's vệ sinh or clean regularly. What I recommend for someone who wants to ease into the Vietnamese experience, living somewhere like District 1. Typical expats live in Thao Dien, which is District 2, or even An Phu, a little farther of Thao Dien. And then you can also live more locally, like District 3, District 5, or even Phu My Hung or District 7, which is a little farther, but those are the districts that I recommend if you were to live in Ho Chi Minh. And the same thing applies for Hanoi, right? You want to live in like staying away from understanding there's a barrier between local and non-local. In Da Nang, it's An Thuong, everything outside of An Thuong. In Hanoi, it's Tai Ho, outside of Tai Ho. Rent yourself an Airbnb and just feel it out before you actually sign the lease and rush into things. I learned that the hard way. And safety and everything before you make your move. You don't want to be walking around with your phone like this. Look at me, take a selfie. It's going to get snatched 100%. And it's when you let your guard down, that's when it's going to happen. Just be wary of that. Everything else, you're pretty safe. If anything, I feel much more safer in Vietnam at midnight compared to when I'm in Vancouver walking down Hastings Street at midnight. And you don't know what Hastings is, go Google it or YouTube it. Hastings Street, downtown, east side. You know what I'm saying? East Van. And what I also recommend is making sure, are you going to decide if you want to move here forever? Are you going to get rid of your cell phone number? And if your cell phone number is connected to your bank accounts, where you have apps and you can send yourself money, and it has two-factor authentication, or you can get rid of your phone number. Because my own bank does not get rid, or other apps I use, has no alternative to two-factor authentication. Another thing you need to consider is when you move away, right, you never ever want to get rid of your residency status. So if you live in Vietnam, you still, if you're American or British or German, you still want to keep your resident status. If you apply for non-residency, for me, I'm a Canadian, and I apply for non-residency, that means I forfeit, right, a physical address, my assets. Then certain things of benefits of being Canadian, like investments, 401k, your TFSA, no longer valid. You can't contribute anymore. You're thinking about future. You might not like Vietnam. You stay there for a month, a year. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go back. Guess what? You have to reapply for residency status, and all your investments is a big headache. No one. It's always about, oh my God, it's so cheap. Move there. It's so easy. Let's be a digital nomad, guys. Let's make content about Vietnam, and then we're gonna make money off the AdSense and clickbait. And I don't care what people do. I just want them to click and watch my videos because it has sexy girls of Vietnamese women on my thumbnail. This is the boring stuff. Is if you're looking at making money within Vietnam, VND, whether you sign a service contract or someone sponsors you, and going the whole route of getting a work permit, you have to consider going through the long headache process, right? That I had to went through, and I'm Vietnamese, right? I understand Vietnamese. I wish someone would have told me this of things like, oh, you need to get very standard health check. You need to get your criminal record check. So if you have a criminal record, good luck getting a job. You need to make sure you have your degrees and certifications brought over from your homeland, notarized, authenticated, signed, and then brought to Vietnam and then get them translated. What's going on? Are you going back to Vietnam? Is that it? Is it actually it? Yeah, man, all my haters are watching. I got to my supporters. I love you guys as well. Thank you for saying hi all the time. I really appreciate and I love you and I fist bump you, and y'all give me the real energy, you know? I really appreciate people, and you're like, oh my God, you're not famous. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm just doing me, man. Doing me, man. The hell? The hell? Like on hell. You need therapy. You need help. I'm like, bro, have you not seen my other videos? It's because of me going to therapy, I finally put together a plan that I was going to go to Vietnam and document it.
Taking risks.
Yeah.
Because you rush into things.
Yeah. If I didn't go to therapy, I would be in Vancouver again, working another 9 to 5 job, and you would never see me. Probably that's what you want, and this hate and this energy would be put towards another probably white dude talking about Vietnam. But reality aside, is the journey over? No, the journey's never over, all right? The whole point of this, as being a Vietnamese blood, being born in Canada, is you can go back and forth. And am I going to stay here for a bit? Probably. Am I going back to Vietnam and see the next chapter and what I'm going to do? Stay damn tuned. I'll be making a group, the Breakers Club Collective, where I want everyone, the good people, the good energy, where we all help each other when it comes to moving to Vietnam, Vietnamese culture, and how do we help each other live our best lives. Because I remember going to Vietnam, it was just a dream. Watching all these other content creators do it, and then you do it, and I'm like, damn, there's certain things that they aren't being truthful out here. And that's why you got me. My name is Peter, Broke the Habit. We come in hot in this video, so I hope you guys can appreciate that.